the new and improved L.A. Dodgers. Same manager, new and improved. And I think all Don Mattingly was saying was, can you give me a little bit of time for everybody to get healthy here? And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, they're in first place. Last time we talked, you're in fifth place. And so what's the big difference here, Donnie?
Well, like you just said it, we're pretty much healthy. And, we got a little momentum going. And our pitching kind of continued on. Our bullpen got straightened out a little bit. And, next thing you know, we feel like a club that, you're going to win every night.
But if you're looking at, was there a moment where you said, now they're playing like I thought they would play?
We started to see some light when we visited Yankee Stadium a while back after Pittsburgh. We had Hanley back playing, but he couldn't play every day. It was kind of like, okay, he can play 2, then you got to give him a day off. And Mark Ellis, he can play a couple, but then you got to give him a day. And we left Pittsburgh one day, and we had a chance to win the series, and we couldn't play these guys. And they were both wanting to play, and it was like, you know what? We talked about it afterwards. It's like, it's time to go. And we started just playing our guys. If they felt good, we were going to play them, not worry, not try to milk them through anything else. They swung the bats well in that series, and all of a sudden you could tell it was just a different club. We started swinging the bat and scoring some runs, and with the pitching that we have, things got a lot easier for us.
The line of questioning from the media, how's that changed in the last 2 months?
Well, a little bit. I don't feel quite as dumb. I'm just, it's funny, Dan, because you make the same decisions, and especially out of the bullpen. You bring guys in, if they get their outs, and you make the decisions for the same reasons, trying to match them up. When they get their outs, you look like you know what you're doing. If they're not getting their outs, every move you make doesn't look good. And so they're the ones that really made me look a lot better. They've gotten their outs. I've been able to put a steady lineup out there for the most part, a lineup that's, we feel like it's a chance to go score some runs, and it's kind of everybody's in their spots. And we've just caught some momentum, and here we go.
I was surprised at your pick for MVP so far. Well, why Adrian Gonzalez?
Just because he's kept us in it. He's been every day. Hanley's made a huge splash, and Hanley's been tremendous. Puig's made a huge splash. He's been great. But Adrian's kind of day in, day out, gets his hits, drives in a run. He's been the one guy I've been able to put in there every day and be productive. And so he's the one, for me, along with our pitching, has kind of kept us afloat and kept us steady and just kind of given us a chance to do what we're doing now.
How's Ramirez's health?
Well, we think it's good. We're hoping that the shoulder is something that's going to be short-term, and even if it was a DL in a couple of weeks, that we would consider that short-term. We just hope it's not something that turns into, a month and a half, and then it's the end of the season, and he's trying to get his rhythm back. Then it's usually not the same for a guy coming back like that. He doesn't have the same timing.
Talking to Don Mattingly, Dodgers manager, win last night over the Cardinals. 15 road wins in a row. How do you explain that?
I really don't know. We just kind of got on a little bit of a roll when we sweep San Francisco and sweep Arizona. And then after the break, we really just talked about, wanting to get off to a good start. We had a tough schedule there, and we'd gained a lot of momentum going into the break. And we said, hey, we need to get out of the blocks. Let's don't give any of this back. Let's make sure we come out ready to play after the All-Star break. And the guys have responded, and I think now it's kind of taken on a life of its own. I think these guys like the fact that we're that team that, we can beat anybody anywhere, and we're not afraid to be on the road. And so, in a sense, I feel like they've taken a little pride in what's going on right now with this.
How good is your Spanish, or how good does it have to be a Major League manager?
It doesn't have to be that good. There's so many guys that speak Spanish that you can, within our clubhouse, probably 3/4 of the kids that work there, the clubhouse guys, all those guys speak, really good Spanish and really good English. So it doesn't really have to be that good.
Do you need somebody to translate?
I am a testament to that too, Dan. I definitely do. I can understand a little bit, but when they get going fast, it's tough. When those guys get going, man, it's like you can't hardly keep up.
Was Gonzalez and Puig last night were going at each other, jawing at each other. Were they speaking in Spanish to one another?
Yeah, it's Spanish, and that's if you've been around the locker room enough, you can't tell if you're not around there enough. These guys would be best friends, and they could be talking like they're getting ready to fight, And that's just the way it is in the locker room, and that's the way our club's been. It's been a back and forth. Guys get on each other, and I think it just shows basically what's going on when you win. The chemistry turns into something so good that you have all kinds of exchanges going on the bench that if you're not within that group, you don't really understand it.
If you were going to single out one highlight from Puig, the most impressive thing you've seen him do so far is what?
Oh, my gosh. He's a human highlight reel, Dan. Every night he does something, right? He made a play in Toronto, probably up against the wall. That was one of the best plays I've seen. He went full speed and hit that wall and made a catch. That's the one that comes to mind because it's probably fairly most recent. But almost every day, I tell somebody, if he gets on 4 times, he's probably going to do 2 crazy things on the bases and make 2 crazy plays a night. I mean, it's like last night. He makes that play, he comes up firing off the wall. Punto plays it perfect. Earlier he has a cut play that he misses the ball or drops it, and we don't get it. The guy gets the third. So every night you just don't know, but it's going to be something.
How did you handle yesterday with the questions on the suspensions handed down?
Well, I don't know if it's a good day or a bad day. It feels like it's going towards being good because I feel like everybody's had enough. I feel like the players have had enough. And I think, I've been saying all along, I think the testing should get better and better, and the penalties should get more and more harsh because it will deter guys from doing it. That's where we got to get to, where we protect the fans because they want to see greatness and they want to know that it's from working hard. It protects the player from the player, because when guys compete and one guy's doing something, it protects them and it protects organizations that give guys big deals and pay huge money for a guy, and they want to know that that's the guy we're going to continue to get if he stay healthy, not that part of that was fabricated.
Well, what if it's just, I'll give you a second chance, I won't give you a third chance. That's it. I mean, there's no deterrent with these guys. I mean, I just had Michael Weiner on, the head of the Players Association. Ryan Braun shows up next February with $100 million coming to him. I mean, what's the deterrent there?
I don't know. And that's what we're talking about. I think there has to be enough penalty there that, we see it with a couple of guys that, looking at now, if their teams make the playoffs, they have a chance to come back and play in the playoffs. And at this point in the season, you got 450 at-bats under your belt. You miss a month, and then you need to go out and have a 20-game rehab. You're going to be right on time when the season ends. Now, if you had to do this at the beginning of the season, and then you have to go through a whole spring training type situation, then it's really going to force you to miss half a season almost. So, there's lots of ways to think of it. To me, you should miss this year and next year, so that way it keeps guys from signing that next deal. So it's just got to get tough enough. And again, I think that it's going in the right direction because guys, I think, are fed up, and I think the penalties will get tougher. Testing should get better. There's a way to stop this.
I saw where you're vowing not to get ejected the rest of the season.
That's right. I'm staying in the games, Dan. I've made that vow. Just made a decision. I'm not going to get thrown out again.
Did you realize you're more valuable to the team if you don't get thrown out?
Sometimes I think I'm more valuable when I get thrown out.
Have you been thrown out on purpose?
There's times you're going to get thrown out because you're fighting for one of your guys. He's up there and they throw a guy out, and you can't let it in like that. I think the other day when I got thrown out in L.A., I was pretty much knew I was going when I went to get Paco out of the game on a check swing. We felt like we had a check swing, would have been the third out of the inning, and we knew we had a check swing. And so when I took him out after the next pitch, the guy gets a hit, and it's a nothing game. So, and the guy says to me, I remember he said, you're going to lay this on me. And I'm thinking, well, it's nothing game. I don't know who else to lay it on. It's like, it was the last out of the inning. We got a chance to hit and have win the game. But again, I'm going to stay in the games from now on. I don't want to leave anymore.
Okay, here's the bet. If you get tossed, I get the jersey that you're wearing when you get tossed for the man cave.
For the man cave?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know I probably get in trouble for betting on baseball at that point, but you can have a jersey no matter what for the man cave.
Well, no, I don't want you to get in trouble with the commissioner because he's on a roll right now, so I don't want him calling you after this. But, yeah, I'm just trying to I want you to be out there arguing, going, I got to send Dan Patrick this jersey if I get thrown out, and it might prevent you.
That's right.
I'm trying to help you, Donnie. Help yourself.
I like it. I like it.
Congrats so far, and good luck in the World Series.
All right. Thanks. Always good to talk to you guys.
All right. Don Mattingly, Dodgers manager. Wait, did he just say, yeah, guarantee they were going to the World Series? Mattingly says, yes, see you in World Series.